Puzzle games are a form of game that centers around solving an issue via the game's mechanics. These may center around the game's mechanics, or center around more basic strategies, or may even center around the player having knowledge of a certain topic. I will cover these three categories of puzzle games in their own section in upcoming areas. Knowledge-based puzzle games are puzzle games that require the player to have knowledge on a particular subject. These subjects may range from general knowledge to the English language to geography. The game demonstrated here are the largely popular Wordle and GeoGuessr. Wordle is a game that requires knowledge of the English language, with the player having 6 attempts to figure out a 5-letter word. The game allows you to do this once per day, and then has you wait until the next day till you can do the next day's Wordle. This creates sort of a level of pride in whether you could complete today's Wordle among your friends. GeoGuessr, however, has a 5-minute playtime window every 15 minutes, or with an account you can play as much as you'd like. However, these accounts cost money. GeoGuessr will plop you in a random location around the world or around a specific area that you have selected, such as the United Kingdom, and will allow you to explore this area via Google Maps Street View, and you will have to attempt to figure out your location in the world. You will then have to drop down a marker on the location that you think you are in, and it will tell you your distance from the actual location and give you an amount of points. They've introduced a competitive mode in which several players fight for the top spot, and the lowest player per round in terms of points will get knocked out. Next up is strategy-based puzzle games. Strategy-based puzzle games require you to take a basic mechanic, such as placing falling blocks in a specific location or shooting a ball at tiles, and apply this to a set of levels. These include games such as Candy Crush, Tetris, and Peggle. The game shown here is Tetris Effect. Tetris Effect is a form of Tetris game where, just like the regular Tetris, you have to line up blocks to eliminate the rows. The only difference in Tetris Effect is the stylistic differences. Tetris requires you to carefully plan your placement of your blocks, and placing a block in an improper manner may cause you to struggle to complete the level or get a specific score. This game, which is Peggle, has you shoot a ball at these pegs in order to eliminate all the orange pegs. The green pegs give you power-ups, and the purple pegs give you large amounts of points. The angle at which you fire the shots and which pegs you go for is largely strategy-based and largely based out of planning and evaluating the risk versus the reward. Different characters have different powers, so picking the character that you're using is also an important piece of strategy that you must use to solve this puzzle. The final type of puzzle game is gimmick-based puzzle games or gameplay-based puzzle games. These are puzzle games that require on a gimmick or gameplay mechanic that is within the game. The example shown here is Contrast, a game where your main character can become a shadow. You must then use shadows of objects and light to allow you to climb up to higher places through these shadows. You must also use this to progress through the story or to reach new power areas, which you will then use to power areas linked to the story. Another example of a gimmick-based puzzle game is Donut Counter. Donut Counter is a game where you play as a hole which eats objects in the surrounding area. Your hole can only swallow objects smaller than it, who will have to swallow these smaller objects and figure out what objects you can swallow to then swallow bigger objects, and also swallow certain objects that will give special effects to get other objects to be swallowable or to progress through the level. Click the link in the description to find a playlist with videos on other genres, and I'll see you in the next one.